What's up guys, Case and Renee here from 4Barrel CrossFit, and today we're talking about kettlebell swings. So let's talk general setup first. On a kettlebell swing, she's going to be a shoulder width stance, toes either straight forward, pointed out slightly, full foot stays in the ground. Now first thing we do, we always come to a full upright position before we start our swing. Otherwise we're going to start the swing with the back already in a bad position. So she stands all the way up, she's kind of twisting her hands into that bell handle because that helps set her shoulder into a good position. From here, she keeps a nice tight core and a flat back. She begins to hinge forward where her shoulders are out in front of her knees, but she just has a very slight knee bend and she can feel a ton of tension back here in her hamstring. From there, to get some momentum going on this bell, all she's going to do is begin to extend the leg, squeeze the quad, the glute, the hamstring, and the core a little bit. And she's not really pulling much with her arms at all. All she's doing is helping to keep her back in a tight position, and all this momentum is coming from her legs. Every time she comes down to the bottom, she really sits back in those heels, feels that stretch in the hamstring, and keeps those shoulders out in front of her knees. Good, you can go ahead and relax. So the swing that she was just doing, that's called the Russian swing, and she's just bringing the handle to about eye level. A couple other things we want to watch out for there. Consider this bell to be an extension of your arm, so you have a very nice and tight grip, and you're not letting that bell flop around. You can control that bell at any point of the swing. From there, we'll go ahead and start to talk about the American swing. The setup in the beginning is the same, except this time she's going to begin to generate more momentum into the bell. You can go ahead and go for it. And then as she generates more momentum into the bell, she's going to go to full extension overhead, arm completely locked out, bell almost straight up and down, tilted forward just slightly, because at the top, she's actually going to actively push down on this bell. You can go ahead and relax. That's for a couple of reasons. That keeps that bell from flopping over the top, it keeps her in a nice stacked position, and it allows her to cycle her reps efficiently. Now, a couple things that we typically see on a lot of kettlebell swings, especially in the beginning, is either getting a little bit too much knee bend or letting the bell swing a little bit too low. So show me just the bottom of that knee bend position. So a lot of times we'll see people try to swing a bell from this position where they're essentially jumping and trying to use almost a squat motion to build momentum. What happens here is we tend to put a lot of shear pressure on our back, and then also we don't get an efficient swing with the bell. So remember, keep, you can just go ahead and find a good position. So keep the shoulders out in front of the knees. Go ahead and hinge forward more. And we want to stay away from that squat position. The hinge comes primarily at the hip. Okay? The other thing that we see is a lot of times people will, we call it let the bell swing them instead of them swinging the bell. And what's happening there is instead of this bell just barely clearing her legs, she's not letting the bell come down very far, people tend to let the bell swing down really, really low. Can you demo a couple of Russian swings with that low swing or low bottom position? So what happens is people let that bell swing way down by the ground, potentially getting their back into a bad position, and a lot of times causing a little bit more overall flexion than what we like to see. So keep the shoulders out over the knees and keep that bell up close to the hip, and nice flat back, and everything should go just fine on kettlebell swings. So that's going to be it for kettlebell swings. We'll see you guys next time.